Everyone, welcome back to my channel, Calm with Carlyn, yoga and meditation for your everyday life. Today we have a morning Vinyasa style yoga class. This is great for the morning to jumpstart your day, and it can also be really easy to fit into a busy schedule. So you don't need any props, and we're going to get started in a comfortable seat. I'll see you there when you're ready. So find a nice comfortable seat, preferably a cross-legged seat, and if that's not comfy for you, just know that we will not be here for long. So just take a moment to stack your head over your heart, and your heart over your pelvis, sitting up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders down the back, and then taking 3 deep breaths. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky, really reach them up there. Extend the shoulders up towards the ears this time. And then take another inhale, and on your exhale, twist to your right so the right fingertips come behind you and the left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh. Just a gentle twist in the torso for the beginning of class. And the next time you inhale, come back through center, reach up nice and tall. And then again, take it to the other side with the left fingertips behind you and the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. On your next inhale, come back through center, reach up tall one more time. And then exhale, bring the hands back down to the sides. Keep the left leg as it is, bent in towards the right thigh, and take the right foot out towards the top right corner of the mat. Now for this first variation of our forward fold, we'll take the right forearm on top of or inside of the right thigh, depending on how open you are feeling at this time of day. And then you'll reach the left fingertips up and over the head. Imagine that you could reach beyond those right toes. If you feel you have the space, move that right forearm to the mat inside of the right thigh and feel the left side of the body opening for 2 deep breaths. Now stay nice and low in this forward fold. Take the hand, frame the right knee or the right calf, and just gently hinge and fold forward, really flexing the right toes towards the face. And instead of worrying about getting the feet to the toes, maybe you just really focus on getting that chest to the thigh. See if you can get the elbows to touch the ground as they frame that right knee or calf. Take one more breath here. And then as you're ready, start to come back through center and we'll switch out the legs. So this time the right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh and the left leg comes out long to the top left corner of the mat. And then go ahead and place the left forearm either on the left thigh or inside of the left thigh. Maybe you start up here for a little bit more space and then reach the right fingertips up and over the head. Imagine that you could reach beyond those left toes. And again, if you feel the space opening up in the body, maybe you bring the left forearm down to the ground, spiral the right fingertips down to open up through the right side of the chest as you lengthen the right side of the body. Take 2 deep breaths here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, take an inhale, come back up through center, and we'll take this to a tabletop position. In my opinion, no yoga class is complete without some cat-cows. So on the inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And on the exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine, press the ground away from you. Use this as an opportunity to sync your movement with your breath. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine. Coming into this space, recognize that it's okay if your body and breath are moving a little bit faster or a little bit slower than my cues. And the next time you come into your cow pose, just hold. Maybe you take some rocks back and forth. Find some little circles with the shoulders or the hips. And then come back through center. Press the ground away from you. Find your cat pose. And again, rock back and forth. Find some little tiny circles with the shoulders or the hips. And then come back to your neutral tabletop position, keeping the knees glued to the ground at where they are, right underneath the hips. Start to walk just the hands forward, coming into a puppy pose. And as you reach your edge, going forward, 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 you'll start to take the forehead, the chin, or the chest down to the ground. Find as much space in the front of the body and the shoulders as you can, and take 3 deep breaths. And then when you're ready, gently come off of those forearms. Start to walk the hands back in towards the center of the body, but not quite underneath the shoulders. Keep the wrists a little bit forward of the shoulders, spreading the fingertips nice and wide, gripping the mat, and then tucking the toes, lifting the hips, finding your first downward facing dog of class. Find any kind of movement that would feel good right now. I like to come up onto my tippy toes and then reach the heels down to the ground, maybe pedaling through the knees, bending one at a time as you straighten the opposite leg. Let the head and neck hang heavy, shaking it yes or no, releasing tension in this downward facing dog. And then let's all come to stillness in our down dog. Take a deep cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. On your next inhale, take the left foot to the center at the back of the mat. Take an inhale, lift the right leg just a couple inches off the ground, and then step the right foot to the outside of the left foot so the pinky edge side of the feet are close to one another. Bend the left knee as much as you can as you straighten the right leg as much as you can, really stretching the back of that right leg, especially the calf area. Imagine you're pressing that right calf into a wall behind you, holding for 3. For 2, on 1, take it back through center, come to your neutral downward facing dog. And then this time the right foot comes towards center at the back of the mat. Take an inhale, lift the left leg just a couple inches off the ground and step it beside that right leg, bending the right knee generously as you straighten through that left leg as much as you can. Maybe the left heel touches the ground. Again, imagine that you're pressing that left calf into the wall behind you, holding for 3. For 2, on 1, hold it here, and then come back through center, find your downward facing dog, and from your down dog, bend the knees, look between the feet if you're not doing so already, and slowly start to walk the hands towards the back of the mat. You probably know we're headed to a ragdoll from here. Grabbing onto opposite elbows, bending the knees generously so the chest can touch the thighs, and just rocking back and forth as a means of releasing tension in the body before we start to flow.
Take one more inhale in your ragdoll and stay where you are for your exhale. And then on your next inhale, bend the knees as much as you need to in order to plant the hands flat on the ground and slowly start to walk yourself out to a high plank. And in this high plank, we'll take a nice slow ride down to our bellies for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. And exhale, lower back down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. 1 more time, inhale. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. On your next breath in, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, walk or jump your feet towards your hands, taking an inhale to lift up halfway, hands to shins. And on your exhale, you fold forward, hips lift as the crown of the head reaches down to the ground. Inhale, root down to rise all the way up to standing, fingertips reach up to the sky. And then exhale, bring your hands long at your sides. We'll take 2 full sun salutations here to move some heat into the body. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips up, and on an exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down all the way to the belly or halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And then bend the knees, look to the top of the mat. Walk or jump the feet to the hands. Inhaling to lift up halfway and exhaling to fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach all the way up. And as you exhale, we'll fold right back down into our second and final sun salutation. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, high plank. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your down dog, take an inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. And on your exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, moving into a lizard lunge here. Take some rocks back and forth, find some space in that right hip and in the left hip flexor. As you breathe here, start to settle. And then keeping the left hand planted where it is, take an inhale, reach the right fingertips up to the sky. Finding this nice gentle twist, and if you want to open up even more, take the right hand behind the head and let the head just fall back into the hand as that right shoulder opens. Holding here for 3, for 2, on 1, as the left knee drops, you kick that left foot in towards the seat and take the right hand back behind you. Maybe you grab onto that left foot with the right hand, finding a nice stretch in the left quad. Even if the hand and the foot are not connected, you're still reaching them towards one another to get that nice stretch. For 3, for 2, on 1, take the right hand to the outside of the right foot. Start to wiggle that right foot in towards center and slowly straighten the right leg, finding your half split. On your inhale, lift up halfway, and on your exhale, fold. Take a couple breaths here, opening up through the back of that right leg. And then when you're ready, start to bend back into the right leg, crawling the fingertips forward, planting the hands to frame the right foot and stepping back to a high plank. Now you have the option to vinyasa here or go right back to down dog. I'm going to take it to a vinyasa, lowering down halfway on my exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. And on your exhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Take a moment here, rock back and forth, find that space in your lizard lunge. Excuse me.
And then as you settle in here, keep the right hand planted. Inhale, lift the left fingertips up to the sky. And if you want even more, take that left hand behind the head and just let the head fall back into the hand. It might feel a little bit awkward as you deeply open that left shoulder. For 3, for 2, on 1 as the right knee drops, the right foot kicks in towards the seat, and the left hand reaches behind you to grab for, or at least towards, that right foot. Feeling that nice stretch in the quad. For 3, for 2, on 1, slowly lower down, take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, wiggle that left foot in towards center, and we gently straighten through that left leg for our half split pose. Take an inhale, look past the left toes, and on your exhale, gently fold down, taking a couple deep breaths here. At the bottom of your next exhale, whenever that is, start to bend back into the left knee as you crawl the fingertips forward, planting the hands, lifting the right knee, stepping back to your high plank, taking an optional vinyasa, or just meeting me back in downward facing dog. And when you arrive in downward facing dog, take the feet a little bit closer to the hands and take them nice and wide either side of the mat, keeping the right hand planted. Reach the left hand towards the right calf, knee, or thigh as you twist the body underneath that right armpit. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Plant the left hand, reach the right arm underneath the body, grabbing onto the left calf, knee, or thigh. Breathing here. Feels so good to open up the body first thing in the morning. And then as you're ready, come back through center. Keep this nice wide stance in the legs. Bend the knees, look to the top of the mat. We're gonna hop our feet to the outside of the hands, coming into our malasana pose. So the elbows are pressing into the knees as the knees press back into the elbows. If it's not comfortable to be so low, you can always come a little bit higher up into a low squat. Wherever you are, just find some movement, opening up through the hips. And then wherever you are, come through center, reach the arms long in front of you. Find the strength in the glutes by pressing down into the heels. We're coming down to our seat in 3, in 2, on 1 from your seat, bring the knees into a tabletop position for your boat pose. Lighting up through the core here, keep the chest nice and proud, pull the belly button in towards the spine, and then bring the hands to prayer, and we'll twist right to left, right to left. We go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, come back through center, hold just for 1 more inhale, 1 more exhale, and then bring the soles of the feet to touch. Sit up nice and tall, find your Baddha Konasana, bringing the hands to either side, underneath the foot, taking an inhale to sit up nice and tall, and an exhale to hinge forward, maybe rounding through the spine, tucking the chin to the chest, opening through those inner thighs, and letting the upper back relax.
From here, go ahead and find your seat. Take the legs out long in front of you and just take a moment to wiggle them both out. And then hug the right knee in towards the chest. Sit up nice and tall and take the right foot to the outside of the right thigh. Giving that right leg a nice big hug. Start to twist over to the right. Right fingertips behind you. Maybe your gaze follows past that right shoulder. Just for 3. For 2, on 1, come back through center and take it to the other side, hugging the left knee into the chest, sitting up nice and tall, and then taking the left foot to the outside of the right thigh, hugging the left knee into the chest, and then taking the left fingertips behind you. Maybe the gaze follows the left shoulder in this twist for 3, for 2, on 1, slowly come back through center, taking both of the legs long in front of you and slowly lowering down, preparing the body for Shavasana. Of course, if there's anything else you'd like to take in your practice this morning to energize the body, wake the body up, feel free to go there now. If you're ready for Shavasana, settle in. We won't be here for long because the goal is not to fall back asleep, just to find this active rest, letting the breath become natural, taking a moment to let go of thoughts. Hold off your to-do list for your day, your checklists, all those things you need to think about, just for another 60 seconds. As you do nothing but just be here. Take a deep breath in as you fill up the belly, the chest, and the lungs. And then as you exhale and let everything go, take the arms long behind you, extending through the fingertips, pointing through the toes, finding a full body stretch. And then hugging the knees into the chest, taking the hands behind the thighs, and finding a few rock and rolls until you eventually meet me up in a seated position where we began our class today. You can keep the eyes closed or the gaze soft, bringing the left hand on top of the heart and the right hand on top of the left. Taking one more collective inhale and one more exhale. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this morning. Please like and comment below if you enjoyed class. Let me know what you would like to see next. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at Calm with Carlyn. And I will see you next time. Namaste.